Hello, good morning, girls. Today we discuss about the consumer protection e-commerce, in which we discuss about the duties of e-commerce entity. First is corporate entity. Rule 41 of the rule sets out that an e-commerce entity shall be corporate entity under the Companies Act 2013, whether an Indian companies or foreign company, or an office, branch or agency outside India, owned or controlled by a person resident in India as provided in the Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. It is noteworthy that this provision is extremely restrictive and does not take into account any other form of legal entity in India. It severely impacts enterprises operating as sole proprietorship, partnership, or any other form of recognized body corporate, as they could potentially be restricted from operating an e-commerce platform for their goods and services. Second, nodal officer. The rules require an e-commerce entity to appoint a nodal person of contact or an alternate senior designated functionary who is resident in India to ensure compliance with the provision of the Act or the rules. The rules do not, however, set out any qualifications of such nodal officer. Next, disclosure of information. An e-commerce entity is required to provide the following information on its platform. Number one, its legal name. Number two, principal address of its headquarters and all branches. Third, name and details of its website. And fourth, contact details of customer care as well as grievance officer. And fifth, details of importers or sellers of imported goods and services. This ensures that the consumer has full disclosure of the e-commerce entity, thereby reducing cases of fraud. Next is the grievance redressal. An e-commerce entity required to establish a grievance redressal mechanism and appoint a grievance officer for the consumer grievance redressal. While this is a welcome move to protect the consumer's interest, it may be a challenge for a small micro business operating as e-commerce entity, as it can increase the overall cost to set up such a mechanism. And next is the unfair trade practice. An e-commerce entity is prohibited from adopting any unfair trade practice, whether it is a course of business on its platform or otherwise. Further, an e-commerce entity is also prohibited from manipulating the price of the goods or services offered on its platform in such a manner as to gain unreasonable profit by imposing on consumers any unjustified price having regards to the prevailing market conditions. However, it remains unclear as to what constitutes price manipulation. Now, okay, girls.